Morning all. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a week since my last update. All over the wedding now. That's like 2 weeks ago now. Can't believe how time flies. But today it's my first attempt to running over 10 miles since a marathon training, or since a marathon. So I'm going to take it nice and steady today. I'm going to attempt 13. Let's see how it all goes. I'll give you some updates as I'm running along. I'll tell you how I'm feeling, and I've got a few little tips to share running in this warm weather. Like, how do people do it? Some people struggle to walk, let alone run, but it's got to be done. I think it's 15 weeks now until the marathon, early October, so it's really important now to get these long runs going. So as we're going along, I'll give you a few tips, so watch them. Some really good ones there. Some of you might not have one of them you might not have heard of or seen, so it's worth watching. So I'm heading down towards the Sutcliffe Park, which is where the running track is. So I'm going to cut down to there and then start heading over towards Chislehurst. It's a bit of a climb now, all the way up into Chislehurst, but once I get over the top, it's pretty flat. So my plan is just to try and get this first half out of the way with nice and steady, and then if I'm not too knackered, to pick up the pace a little bit, try and get in some 7-minute miles if I can, but I don't know how I'm going to feel this morning. So I've got 3 tips. Obviously 2 of them are quite obvious. So when the weather's really hot like now, you've really got to go out early in the morning before the sun gets too high, but I'm sure that's pretty much common sense and everyone realises that. I think it was 18 when I left home this morning, and it's going to climb up to 21 by 9 o'clock, so even for the park runners it's going to be a warm one. So that's number 1 tip. So I've just come up to the running track down at Sutcliffe. So a bit of a dodgy crossing here. This is what I used to call the pause to watch, the World of Leather roundabout, which is now Pets at Home and a toll shop. But as you can see, it's like, this is actually the South Circular, so you have to sort of really get across quick. Lucky I got a gap there, so I can continue. Yeah, so that's the South Circular there, which is obviously a major road in South London. So I'm going to get across these lights safely, and I should be good to go again. So a bit of a climb now up into towards Mottingham, towards the War Memorial, if anybody knows this part of South London. So while I'm sort of digging in up this hill, take my mind off it a little bit. Number 2 tip, obviously really important, hydration. Now, I'm not a believer of drinking too much on the day of the run, because you need to be well hydrated for at least 48 hours, I would say, before a race. You want to be drinking water, because it's like if you let the ground dry out yeah, and then you try watering it, the water just runs straight off the top, doesn't it? So it's exactly the same thing with your body. The more you drink, the easier it finds to absorb that water. So all my hydration was done over the last couple of days, drinking plenty of water, not going too heavy, not too much water, just enough to keep hydrated. So I'm on the hard slog climb now up into Chislehurst, and then I've dropped down into the village, and then it all gets a little bit easier. But I need to get past these couple of climbs. They're quite long, they're not overly steep, but just long. So, oh, try and laugh at me. So I'm almost at the brow of the hill. It's been a hard slog so far. I got the easy part now, but I think I'm going to struggle still. I'm feeling the heat already. It's very, very humid and close. So welcome to Chislehurst High Street. So through Chislehurst village, gone through the common, just going on Perry Street now. Now, as you can see, it's nice and flat. Normally I can really open up along here, pick up a bit of pace, but I'm struggling really to hit 730s. So obviously this week, working in the heat and lack of fitness, just for not doing a lot of running, is having a big effect. But at least I know where I am now, something to build on. Well, just had a little respite, found a little bit of shade. Let's have a look. It's just come up to 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'd say it's got to be into the 20s already, probably 21, 22 in the shade, in the sun. It's really hot. So that gets me on to tip number 3, and that's the sweat. How to keep the sweat out of your eyes. So if you can see now on the screen, what I normally do is I'll smear some Vaseline across the top of my eyebrows. That way it deflects the sweat down the side of your face rather than into your eyes or onto your sunglasses. I find this really works. I've done it on all my marathons, no matter what time of year. You're always going to sweat, and it just takes that sting out of your eyes. There's nothing worse than having stinging eyes when you're running, and then the sun glaring as well. It's a terrible feeling. But anyway, that's my number 3 tip. So 10 miles done, 3 miles to go. So that was quite disappointing. I still need half a mile, I've got 12.53 mile. So I think I'm still going to be short of 13, but I'm going straight home now. Heat's getting to me. It's a very disappointing run. I thought I might have done better. I had a good Tuesday run, almost 10. I've done some efforts on the grass, and also on Thursday I've done almost 10 and a half. Had a really good session. I've done almost a mile effort as well, incorporating some other little sort of efforts in between as well. So I was expecting more out of today, but I'm guessing the week's just caught up on me, and it is very, very warm. So there you go. That's just a sign that I'm not very fit. So it's all to be done, all the hard work I've got to get going now. It's a wake up call. Catch you later.